Hi there, it's Alana. Welcome. I am glad you joined me. I hope you're having an amazing day and that your word count is soaring and that things are just going really, really well for you in your writing career and that you are just full of creative energy and inspiration today. I want to talk to you about a recent BookBub featured deal I have. So today's topic is going to be kind of all things BookBub, including some about the paid click ads, but I just did in November a 99-cent deal for a standalone suspense novel called Forget Me Now. It was promoted to BookBub either the Monday or Tuesday right before Thanksgiving, I forget which. And I wanted to just share some of my insights from that and how I'm hoping to leverage. I'm also going to talk about tips for getting BookBub ads if you want to get a BookBub ad. And by ad, I'm talking featured deal. So yeah, all things BookBub. Let's dive in. So Forget Me Now is one of my only standalone suspense novels, and it's fairly unique as a standalone in that I am able to price it at $4.99 and still be profitable when I run ads. Or I set the price at 99 cents for this BookBub features deal. I was running paid ads to this book and finding success even with a standalone, which is getting harder to do. Costs per clicks are going up on just about every platform and things like that. Recently, my Facebook ads have not been performing as well, and so I have been seeing my income drop. And so I saw this BookBub featured deal option as a way to find more readers, try to give my sales numbers a bigger boost, things like that. So let's talk about what to do when applying for a BookBub featured deal. And for anybody who doesn't know what BookBub is, let's just go ahead and start there. So BookBub has lists of readers from all kinds of genres who are looking for free and cheap ebook deals. And every day, or just about every day, BookBub will email these readers, and their lists are in the hundreds of thousands. So they're emailing lots of people about your book. And you can expect, a lot of downloads. The numbers are going to vary a ton based on genre, time of year, all kinds of things. But it's pretty typical if you have a 99-cent book. It's typical to expect at least 1,000 sales from that. If you have a free book, you could be talking about over 10,000 downloads. Often this is going to get you into like the top 100 in the Kindle store. So it's a very big sales spike over a short period of time. What used to be the case is that the tail after a BookBub featured deal could last for like 3 to 6 months. So if you were having a slow sale month, you had a BookBub featured deal. 4 months after your featured deal, you could still see a fairly significant boost in sales. That's not the case anymore. So basically you have your BookBub day. You might have a couple other days where people are finding your book because it's high in the rank. And then kind of after like a week, it's going to be pretty normal for it to be back to sales as normal. But here's what does happen. You get lots of new readers. You get that immediate boost in your sales rank, which never hurts. You can get quite a few more reviews. And the main hope is readers who will then go on to read your other books, sign up for your newsletter list, and things like that. Another really neat thing to do with BookBub featured deals is use it to leverage your sales in the wide store. So if you have a book that's not exclusive to Kindle Unlimited, BookBub has a list of people who like Sharp at Barnes & Noble and Kobo and things like that. And so this can be a big boost for you in the wide stores too. So especially like if you're trying to gain some traction in the wide stores, maybe you've just pulled your books out of KU and you haven't really found readers in the wide stores yet, a BookBub feature deal can go a really long way. But they're very hard to get. The editors who select the novels for BookBub feature deals are very picky. You're also competing for space with a lot of traditional publishers. They're really leveraging BookBub at this time too. Plus, it's pretty expensive. You're going to plan on spending, several $100s if you do get selected for a BookBub featured deal. 2 years ago, if you were worried about that cost, I would say don't worry about the cost at all. You are guaranteed to make your money back. Absolutely. Today, it can be hit or miss. I did lose money once on a BookBub featured deal where I had a book at 99 cents and there weren't enough sales and there wasn't enough read through the rest of my series for me to have made my money back. So it's not a guarantee anymore. It's still a great way to give boost to maybe a backlist title that hasn't been selling well lately or something like that. A few things you want to do when you submit to BookBub for a featured deal. Their wording is a little bit confusing. They have certain rules about lengths. If you have a novella, you got to be careful. If you have a box set or anthology, they have all kinds of rules. So if you fall into one of those, you want to just make sure that your book is something that they're willing to promote. They also have specifications about covers. They like the 2D, not the 3D. If you're doing a box set, if you have books by multiple authors, they want them all a certain length. So there are some rules. If you're talking about box sets, anthologies, novellas, you want to just look at their specifications. You also, they don't tell you that you have to have a certain number of reviews to be considered, but you definitely want a book that has a very professional looking sales page if you want a good chance at them selecting your book for a feature deal. So in general, the more reviews and the more positive reviews, the better your chances. You want to have a really strong cover that really hits the genre. So those are other things that they're going to look at. Something else that I did not learn until I went to the 20 Books Vegas conference in 2018, and there was a BookBub representative there. You can actually apply for BookBub featured deals more often than 30 days. They tell you basically if your book gets rejected, then wait 30 more days before you submit that book again for them to consider. But what you can do is submit another book before that 30-day window. So what some authors will do is they will submit one book on January 1st, and by January 7th, they get an email that says, sorry, we didn't select your book. You can submit your book in 30 days. Well, what you can do, and this was direct from the BookBub representative that I talked to, she said that you are still allowed, after you get a rejection from them, you're allowed to submit another book like that same day. The 30-day window only applies for if you are trying to promote the same book. So some people have found success putting book 2 or 3 in a series on sale and doing a BookBub feature deal for that. So you definitely could promote or apply for promotions for any book in your series. And some people, like I said, have found decent success with that. And sometimes it's just a matter of continuing to apply and don't get discouraged if they don't accept your book right away. That's pretty normal. If they do accept your book, hey, hooray, great news. Now what you want to do is get it as leveraged as possible. So you want to make sure that your sales page and description are just spot on, that your hook is great, your cover is great, there aren't any typos, you've got a strong call to action at the end of your description. You want to make sure all those things are in place. I also really recommend that you look into your book file and check out the back matter. Make sure that it's sending people to the next book or wherever it is that you want them to go next. Make sure there's not something like, hey, this book, read book 2 in 2017 or something. You want to make sure that it's as up to date as possible. So those are things you can do to be getting ready for your BookBub deal. Now, a lot of people will use a BookBub featured deal and stack ads around it. So let's say you're accepted for a 99-cent promotion from BookBub, and they're going to be promoting your book on Wednesday. If you wanted to really take advantage of stacked promotions, that means like for the Wednesday before all the way up till the Wednesday of your big featured deal day, that you've got your book at 99 cents and you're actively promoting it elsewhere, whether that's through Amazon ads or Facebook ads or to your newsletter list. This can kind of help your rank to get stickier. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're only selling 5 copies of your book a month, and then on your BookBub day, you sell 1,000 copies. Well, yeah, that's great. But Amazon is going to see it as, well, this one day of high sales, this is kind of a fluke. Whereas if they see in the 7 to 10 days leading up to your big featured deal, if they see steady increase in sales, that's going to help you with your rank, and that's going to help your book stay more visible even after your BookBub deal is over. How many sales you get is really going to vary. I believe that on my featured deal day, I ended the day at just over 1,200 sales for my 99-cent novel. I felt good about that. I had made my money back by like halfway into day 2. So that was fine and good. And I'm seeing read through. So since this was a standalone, it wasn't like I could put a link at the back, say, hey, read book 2 in the series now. But what I did was I put a teaser for book 1 in my Alaskan Suspense series, and then I put a link to the 3-book box set, and I have seen an increase in sales in that box set as well. One last thing I highly recommend if you do get a BookBub feature deal is that you spend just a little bit of time learning how the BookBub click ads platform works. And so what you can do is set up ads. This is totally separate from your featured deal. But what you can do is set yourself as the author that you're targeting with these ads. And then what that does is it means that anybody who clicked on your ad when they got their email from BookBub, they saw your cover, they said, wow, this looks like a good book, and they clicked it. Those are people that you can retarget with BookBub click ads. So that would be a great time, even if it's, if you've never run BookBub click ads before and you've got accepted for a featured deal, I really recommend that like the day after your featured deal runs, maybe for like the next week, that you take a small amount of advertising money, even if it's just like $3 to $5 a day, and you target yourself and either promote that same book or maybe a similar book so that all the people who did click on your ad when it was featured can have the chance to buy that book again or to read another book that's similar to the one they expressed interest in. So that is all things BookBub featured deals. I do have a course on BookBub click ads. If you're interested, you can find that at courses.alanaterry.com/BookBub. And again, I just hope that this has been a great week for you and that your sales are soaring, and we will talk to you next time.